One of the greatest spectacles of public beauty in everyday life in New York City is the subway ride across the Manhattan Bridge on the N or Q train to Brooklyn. Thousands of commuters take this ride twice every day. This is the view looking south into the tenements of the Lower East Side, with the skyscrapers of the financial district behind them. 7 years ago, you would have seen the towers of the World Trade Center rising high above, literally twice as tall as the skyscrapers around them. These buildings cluster at the southern tip of the island because of a deep layer of bedrock that is available to support their weight. This mass of buildings can create the perception that you're not traveling from one sea-level island to another, but actually across something of a canyon. Riding the Manhattan Bridge affords you a view of the more picturesque Brooklyn Bridge as well, the last above-ground traverse of the East River before it flows into the Atlantic. This is the train to Coney Island, and you've taken this ride before if you saw the movie Cloverfield. That movie, by the way, was upsetting because it so faithfully rendered the geography of my home before it destroyed it, something that I already feel like I've lived through. Let me tell you where I'm going. I'm on my way to the suburbs in the middle of southern Brooklyn to a backyard bachelor party for a dear friend of 10 years. I met Nick the first week of freshman year at NYC. This is a bachelor party, but none of us have really been the repressed frat boy type, so we skipped the traditional strippers and opted for an act of similarly grotesque intimacy, buying a whole roasted pig and slowly stripping the flesh off its poor skeleton. And as the bottles of wine and great scotch were progressively getting lighter, the beast did suffer a certain amount of insult to go with its injury. Here's the guest of honor.
Nick, what are you eating?
Spine.
Spine. That's a big spine. Turn it around so we can get a good look at the bones.
Can you do the finish him, please? It'll make me so happy.
Finish him.
Is that
Fatality.
What are you doing?
Is eating the crispy ears.
Yeah. Eat that ear. Yeah.
I think it was 3 was a little rough.
This
But
guy.
explain why it was rough.
This guy.
So I was okay with it. It's not
Are you
the greatest
video?
And that's when the video camera was put away. The drunken cab ride home offered another of New York's great views. This stretch of the BQE is an occasional opportunity that I always savor, and it reminds me how suburbanites are often surprised that when I'm not in the middle of a high-density city, I'm probably off in the deserts of the Southwest or the Sierra Nevada mountains. But these choices are much more similar than they seem to people who live in towns like northern New Jersey, where I grew up. Since I've been on my own, I've chosen to live in and around terrestrial beauty of the greatest scale, and I am full of love and gratitude that the city is still here for me every single day.